Welcome back to Mad Genius. I'm Ariel Kashanchi, and Los Angeles is still on fire. We're still a hellscape right now. It's really incredibly apocalyptic, and I cannot even imagine. I just feel these are the times where, as much as, when you have depression, you tend to hate your life. And I do oftentimes, but these are the times where I'm like, at least I have a place to go lay my head at night. I have a home. My cat is okay. I'm not at risk for losing my home. I can pay my rent barely, but still. And so I just got to keep my lungs clear because the air quality is terrible, and I'll be good. I don't know what to do to help because I don't have any money to donate. They don't want you to donate your old garbage. So I've been donating platelets. I know it's not like directly helping the fire victims, but it's contributing to somebody. It's helping maybe save somebody's life. Is that a noise? Sorry. This is what happened. Okay. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Okay. No. Sorry. I am my own producer. So when something goes wrong, it's my fault. Okay. And I have to deal with it, is my point. All right, okay, I think it's gone. So, yeah, I mean, this is a strange, it's like we all have to do our part, I think, to contribute in some way that's not obnoxious and on social media. Don't show pictures of yourself volunteering because that's not going to win you any fans. Like, people can see this is transparent. It's not a good look. If you're doing something, for instance, where you can invite other people to also contribute, in that case I would say do it. But if it's just, look at me, what a good person I am, virtue signaling. Remember virtue signaling? That left our vocabulary for a while, but I think it's time to bring it back. I think it's time to bring back virtue signaling. And what better time to bring back virtue signaling than the LA wildfires? I mean, there are people telling you what good people they are, showing you in various ways. And all while parts of LA burn down to nothing. So, yeah, virtue signaling is back in business. What did I want to talk about today? Other than these wildfires, I go for a lot of walks in the park. There's a park near me. And I always notice people straddling each other, like couples in the most amorous poses. And it's just so bizarre to me. Like, why do you feel that you have to lay in the grass and basically make love to one another in public? Like, there is dry humping going on. There's a lot that happens in the park where there are children and probably homeless people pleasuring themselves to this. Like, I would imagine that this is a horny homeless person's paradise, to go to a park and watch a couple semi-fornicate. I think that would really make their day. Like, that is better than them having to go, to wherever they can get Wi-Fi so they can watch a little porn. Like, this is it. It's live in person. Does it get any better? I don't think so. Is this... Yeah, okay, it is recording. I hope I'm doing everything right, because that tinny noise earlier was not lovely. Another thing that happened to me in the park, other than the gross straddling and horniness that I see, this happened like a little over a month ago. I'm walking and I hear this old lady ask me for help, and I'm like, yeah, of course. And she is old in a walker, but very fast in the walker. And which is what she attributed it to, because I was like, wow, you're very fast. She's like, it's my walker. But anyway, she was like, can you help me find the senior center? And I said, sure. So I pull up, on Google Maps, and I find the senior center, and there goes my heater. I hope it's not bothering you. It should end in a second, but it's freezing here, and I wanted to look cute for you. So, I'm looking for the senior center, and I said, well, okay, it's kind of hard to describe where it is. Can I walk you there? And she said, okay. And, she didn't say okay. She's like, are you sure? She was so sweet. She's like, I don't want to bother. I was like, no. And she kept asking. She's like, I hope I'm not bothering you. I'm like, not at all. I'm happy to. I love old people, because I was raised by my grandparents, and they passed away many years. My grandparents passed away more than, at least almost 20 years ago. And they were my parents. So when I see old people, I'm like, oh, a grandma. I wish she could be mine. And not that I was like, this woman's going to adopt me, but in our short walk, I found out that we were both Jewish, both estranged from our families. Neither one has had children. I'm looking at me in the future, unless somehow by some miracle I end up meeting somebody and it actually works out for once, and we decide that we want to start a family together. Now, that would be a true miracle, but I don't see that happening, especially considering, I won't get into it. I'll just say my romantic situation is rather pathetic. It's very like I am being, what's the word? It's not ghosted this time. It's breadcrumbed. So that's fun. But anyway, my point here is that we were walking together and we had so much in common, and she asked me why I don't talk to her. So I didn't expect to cry on this podcast. She asked me why don't you talk to your family? I said, well, they've done terrible things to me and they're really sick people. And she said, I understand. She's like, I'll be your grandmother. And then I'm just like, God, I wish she was sincere about this, And then at the end, she's like, okay, I can walk in from here. And she said, I love you. And I said it back, and it was so beautiful. And it's just so nice to have these moments with strangers where you can just connect and understand each other, even if just for a moment. It was really beautiful. Another thing I wanted to talk about today, on another note, for so much of my life, I've been told that I should be a dominatrix. And it's one of those things that happens when it happens, it's always like this. The person's like, they're always hesitant. They're like it's something I've never heard before. They're like, okay, so don't take this the wrong way. And I'm always like, you think I should be a dominator? How did you know? I'm like, you're not the first. This is something people tell me repeatedly. And so forgive me if I told this story on the podcast before. If you've heard it before, just fast forward a little bit. Anyway, my point is, I was like, you know what? Beat the shit out of people for a living. Get a job you love, you'll never work a day. And so I considered it, and I went to this Dominatrix's dungeon. She was a friend of a friend. And everything in there looked like Pilates equipment, which is Pilates is my day job, which I was like, this is interesting. This is all like, it looks like Pilates equipment. She's like, oh, that's so funny. My clients always talk to me about their Pilates instructors. And I was like, oh yeah, with this, you could torture them this way. And I had all these great ideas. I was being very innovative with my torture. And she was like, wow, you're really sadistic. I think you're really going to have a gift for this. And then at the end, she was like, yeah, I just got back from Vegas with one of my clients. I was like, whoa, you travel with them? Ugh. She's like, no, I don't have sex with them. I was like, oh, okay. But, like, do you have to talk to them? She's like, well, yeah, I mean, we talk. It's different. It's like, almost like, I'm like, I am not a whore. You know what I mean? That was where I had to draw the line. Like, if I could dress up in character and just come in with some whips and some creative forms of torture and just torture somebody and get paid for it, I would happily do it. Happily. There would be no hesitation. But if I had to then talk to them, like break character and talk to them, ugh. This is kind of like when people who are like swingers, they're always like, no, we only do it with strangers so it doesn't get weird. It's kind of like that. That is my foray into dominatrixism. Oh my God. The Pilates thing though. Now I don't really love teaching Pilates. It's, to me, it's very, energy draining and unstable, and it's like you're dealing with a lot of personalities, and if somebody doesn't like you, and it's like but today one of my clients, I should have brought it, she made me a mug. Isn't that amazing? And it's beautiful. Like, I think she's into ceramics, so she actually made me this beautiful mug. Anyway, that was really meaningful. So it looks like TikTok is coming back. When you are listening to this, Trump will either be in the process of inaugurating or it will have been completed and he will now be our president. And they're like thanking him for it. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think anymore, because we've had 4 years of him. It wasn't so bad. He says some really dumb things, but it's not like we're trying to marry him. Sometimes he makes sense. Sometimes he's insane. I don't know. I mean, the other one couldn't form a sentence. Like, our options are bleak. And then Snoop performed at some inaugural party and all his fans are turning against him. Like, he's got Trump's money on his mind and his mind on Trump's money. What was the other? Yeah, this is the thing. People can't get upset with celebrities for performing at political events. It's not, people are so angry because Carrie Underwood is performing. First of all, she's a country star. The majority of country fans vote Republican anyway. So they're very elated. But why? They're celebrities. Their endorsement of a political candidate shouldn't mean anything. We're not supposed to be listening to them for that shit. They're entertainers. Their job is to make us laugh and cry and feel emotions. Nothing else. They're not news. They're not pundits. They have no business expressing their their political views and performing at a huge event like that. Who would say no? I would perform at Trump's inauguration. Are you kidding me? I would go do stand-up. I would, just like Tony Hinchcliffe, I would say something completely offensive too that would cancel me and make me bigger. That's, a girl can dream. That is my dream for the next presidents, for when Vance runs and potentially wins. What else did I want to talk about? Oh my God, the elderly in Japan are all going to prison out of loneliness and poverty. Like, the prisons in Japan are now looking like retirement homes because, like, the prison guards have to take care of them. Like, they have to clean their bedpans and things like that. I mean, it's sad, but it's also very clever. You know what I mean? I feel like this is the kind of scam that you only find out about in a foreign country. Like, Americans are way too decent to do these kinds of things. Like, I don't see them doing it. Like, foreigners, my people, on the other hand, 100%. But, I mean, no, not the Americans. They don't do that. What else did I want to say about that? That's all I wanted to say. Oh, Nelly, I wanted to read a quote from Nelly, who also performed at an inaugural event. I thought it was pretty good because when he was set to perform at the inaugural Liberty Hall ball in Washington. Okay, so he said, "We tend to sometimes make a quick response to something that on the surface may seem fucked up because we don't agree. I'm not political. I'm not out here trying to tell anyone who they should vote for. This is not a campaign trail. I'm clueless on a lot of things when it gets down to it." See what I mean? He's admitting, he's like, "No, I'm a rapper, singer kind of guy. I'm not," well, I guess he's more of a rapper. He's a rapper. Like, I'm here to rap. I'm here to perform for you. That's it. So what I intend to say is, do your homework and make your own decisions about it. Exactly. This is what all celebrities should be saying. They should be saying, "Don't listen to me. I am known for pulling my pants down and showing my ass crack while I dance. Like, these are not people. These are not moral arbiters. You shouldn't be listening to them. But what I will say about it is what he says, is that I respect the office. This isn't politics. The politics for me is over. He won. He's the president. He's the commander-in-chief. What would I like to say is that this is the best country in the world. If these people can give their life for the office, Nelly can perform. It is an honor for me to perform for President of the United States, regardless of who is in office. If politics is above and beyond anything other than what a person stands for or what that person has done, then I apologize if I quote unquote let you down. If you follow what I do, then this shouldn't even be an argument. I mean, he's saying that he didn't like Trump. Previously, there's a previous quote where they're like, he said he didn't like Trump as president. Okay, I mean, I don't think he's like giving he's not saying Trump is who he wants to be president. I think he's saying, this is what we got. We got to make the best of it. So I'm going to perform for this stage, for this audience. Yes. Who would say no to that? He's right. This is a man who hasn't had a single in 20 years. Of course he's going to jump at any opportunity. What are people thinking? Yeah, I mean, maybe not 20 years, but you know, Nelly had his day when he was huge, and now he's just a known rapper. But he's not like, oh my God. But he is, I will say, I've seen him perform, and he's amazing. He is amazing. He was on the same bill as New Kids on the Block and TLC, and that was depressing. New Kids on the Block was like a bunch of dads dressed like the 90s, and TLC was like, why are you still doing this? Like, they hated their lives. Like, T-Boz was like very sloth-like. Left Eye, obviously, we know she's not around anymore, and Chili was just completely checked out. It wasn't a good show, but Nelly really brought it. Really brought it. So I appreciate Nelly. The other thing I wanted to talk about, which I don't know if anyone cares, but I didn't realize, I found out today that Elvis was in the military at the peak of his fame. And it's because his manager, like, kind of bamboozled him into spending a year in active duty when he could have gotten him out for something else. Like he could have made an arrangement where he performed for the military and he only served 6 weeks, but he wouldn't make money that way. So the manager was like, no, I want to exploit my client at whatever cost, so he's going to have to join the military. And it's going to be good for his image, because I think at the time he had a negative image. So they were like, this is going to make him look like so heroic. And I guess it did. Because Elvis, I don't think was a good person, but he died a hero. On the toilet whilst taking a shit. But nevertheless, a hero. And I will leave you with that. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a review, throw some stars. All is appreciated.